Howdy, y'all. Welcome to session 4, Tales from the Bloody Rift, a dirty, invincible, and macron adventure.
Hello.
We're picking back up from last week. Jason's gonna do our last time on here, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So in session 3, we had our opening vinaigrettes, learning more about Sage's clan, Yonar, and they're landing on their planet, and also about the ship dealer, Derp Jergison, that gave Kayla her ship.
Oh man,
we also went into the Essentia a little bit, and filled out a little more of their backstory, their kind of their features and whatnot. And then as we started into the session itself, we picked up where we left off, where
this is when Yukon agrees to help us steal the information, but we have to give him a favor in the future, right?
yes, and so he hooks us up with a contact named Noah, and then once everything is ready, Noah helps us to get the data. We went through there no problem, because having security on our side kind of helps the situation.
Yeah, it really made it smooth. Grease the wheels there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on our way out, Kayla misprogrammed the doohickey again, and we ran into the gravity well problems.
Look, I swear those gravity wells are moving. Kayla is 100% certain that those gravity wells are moving. She had a route planned and everything. This was definitely not there before.
Yeah, it's the risk of traveling in the Bloody Rift, as we're finding out. Yep. So yeah, we made it back to Sagan, and I think did the ship take damage, or we
endured it. We
okay.
got the health back. We got the health that we lost.
Okay. So yeah, we made it back. Oh, that's right, because I was disappointed that we didn't get to tinker around on the ship. So we made it back to Stimmy, and got her the information that she wanted. Yeah, now that a bit more on her good side now, since we did it without further pestering her.
Right.
So now we're a little more in her good graces, and so she tells us to check back in from time to time. As we made our way out of Stimmy's, we started arguing about Kayla's flub with the ship systems and the navigations.
Look,
and the black hole thingies.
Again, gonna point out.
Tim had some squeaks to say.
Tim can keep his squeaks to himself.
And then while we were in a heated argument, some agents popped out of the shadows and got the drop on us, and we began a fight. Kayla managed to get into some cover and try to provide some cover fire of her own for Sage, while Sage, like a maniac, just rolled this sword around and got shot at a bunch.
Just ran straight at guns.
Yeah.
It kept running straight at guns too. It wasn't just the one time.
Yeah.
Then, so I think that was in character. We were just talking about that, right? At least that part was in character. That was very aggro, fight to the death kind of move.
Yeah. So yeah, he does his battle cry, tries to close in, fails. More agents get the drop on us. and their leader tells us, at this point, it looks like we're pretty much surrounded, so we kind of give up. The leader is pretty much taking us captive, and he's
And that
whispering
leader's
to
name
his controller, and that leader's name is well, we don't know it yet, but out of character, we know it's Ezra Winter.
is Ezra Winter.
Yeah, Mike.
Out of character, we know
Trout.
he is
Mike Ehrmantraut.
the Mike Ehrmantraut of Phoenix Downey's operation in, was that Firebird Biotechnics? One of those places. Firebird
Yep.
Bionics. Yeah. So.
All right.
So that
So
leads
that's where
us
we
here.
left off last time. Yeah.
All right.
Do you have a salad dressing for us, or
Would
did
you
you
like
want
me
me
to
to
start
go?
with a salad dressing?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a little one. Just setting the scene here. Uh, kind of pan in on a dark room. Not pan in. Zoom in on a dark on someone sitting at a table in the middle of a dark room. And as you kind of as you get closer to the person, you kind of start to see their surroundings a little bit better. And it's like an old timey looking library, like lots of actual like bound books, which is not something you see nowadays. I mean, everything, all data's on tablets. No one uses paper.
Many leather-bound
I
books.
guess some places that are poor use paper, but or don't have the resources for producing the electronics that use paper. But most of the vast majority of the forge doesn't use paper anymore. But this place has a lot of paper, a lot of books, and sitting there reading some of them is a young man named Phoenix Downey. We see that he's reading books on the precursors and man's place in the universe, where man came from, and how man continues and what man's purpose is. We kind of like pull back a bit, we zoom back and we keep zooming back, and we go out of the room, we go out of the little area the room's in, and then we go farther out and we see that we are in this large space station that's gothic, peaked roofs. It looks like a cathedral on a rock in space, and on it is blazoned in bronze is the Order of the Omega, and kind of a nuclear symbol. And that's it. Scene. That's my
All right.
vinaigrette.
Very tasty. Okay. As we start in the wine, we flash back to a glowy purple arm reaching out and manipulating some controls on the console. A door opens up into a larger room, and you can see row upon row of cubbies, each labeled and housing a small furry ball. A couple of ray-like figures glow in the entrance and make their way down this room, marking up data in their tablets as they visually inspect the inhabitant of each cubby. At the other end of a large room is a lab encased in some force bubble. Inside, two more of the wispy alien rays are conducting some sort of experiment on a small creature. It recoils away from the large staff of one of the alien scientists. Two newly arrived researchers wave their limbs about, and the other two respond in kind. While they are distracted, the critter takes advantage of an opening and darts out of the bubble and out the door of the larger room. One of the researchers hits a large button on their console, setting off sirens and alarms. Fade to black.
Dun dun dun. Is this more? This is more of Tim's people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I like it. Oh,
Momentum. I think it was
Oh, just a sec. I'm losing. Okay, no, I'm fine. All right. Well, never mind. Apologize. I thought I was disconnecting again there. I'm having some system issues again for some reason, but the stream looks okay. It's been up. Okay.
Yeah, stream looks fine on mine.
All right, cool. So, sorry. Yes,
So
sorry. What was the
I
question?
get a momentum, you get a momentum, everyone gets a momentum
Oh yeah, we get one for the oh nice.
for our salad dressings.
Dude, we're gonna we'll be in good shape. No, now it's unstable.
Whatever is happening, hopefully Kayla talks us out of it and uses that 8. We don't rely on Sage not doing anything with his sword, which has probably been seized, I assume, by security.
Yeah. Okay, stream disconnected. So, but it reconnected, so we should be good. Yeah. So, okay, that's great. That's good having that much momentum, though, right? That'll be nice. I'm sorry, I got distracted again. I gotta stop watching the session timer. So are we talking to this guy right now, or have we just surrendered and he's just taking us somewhere? Is a question I was asking to begin with. I think.
I thought we surrendered.
Well, yeah,
And you
okay.
say yes.
No, I mean we surrendered, but I mean, are we like? I mean, have we like? Are we not asking questions while we're here? Or, like, how are we handling this situation from this? Because I'm trying to set the scene that we're starting out with here.
Well, after seeing Tim, um, like, hey, we want to capture them alive. So that's when, in a very Mike Ehrmantraut voice, he's like urging us to stop being ridiculous and surrender, or else things are going to go south for us.
So if as long as and I think as long as I mean
Right. Do I have to do it nasally? Yeah.
that's great, great micro trap. You get to
Just
be
lay
Ezra
down your
Winter.
weapons and everything will be fine.
Are we gonna? So we're gonna this is where we're gonna start out here. That was really good. I think you should run with that. Kayla Kayla says it's funny that you say everything should be fine when your guys attacked us. We're still holding her guns up at the people, but not shooting.
Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore if you just put down your weapons like I ask and come along.
Come along where? And why couldn't this have been the discussion before the shooty shoot?
The boss saw you in action and he wants to talk to you.
People,
That's all I know. You're coming with us or you're going down.
Sage, we have a job interview. Kayla kind of lowers her weapons, puts puts them in her holster. Definitely doesn't surrender them unless they absolutely demand them. Uh, puts them in her holsters and takes a step back and just kind of says, "This could have been a fucking message, man. Could have just been a fucking send me an email, call my phone, my space phone."
All right, boys, put them in cuffs, bring them on board.
Sage, take it easy. Don't. We're okay. As we're like moving, as they're like taking weapons and stuff and handcuffing us. Kayla says, "So, any did he say who? I'm sorry. Did he say already who he was working for? I forget.
He just said the boss.
He just said the boss. Okay, yeah. So any clues as to who the boss might be? You know, who we're going to meet in handcuffs.
That'll be revealed in time.
Uh, as she catches up to Sage, as they like kind of start moving them along together, kind of stay sideways just to Sage and just be like, it would just be like, I think Stimmy had anything to do with this.
I don't see why.
I don't know. Just feels weird coming out of her place and getting jumped like that. Although I
I
guess
thought
she
we
didn't know we were
were
going to
like
be there.
walked a bit away from it because we were arguing.
Oh yeah, we got away from it. I don't know. I just can't. Kayla's cautious people generally speaking, and you know, we don't know her. We know her better than we know some other people here, but we don't know her as well as we know. You know, like I know as Kayla knows Sage, so she's not very trusting of or she not that she's not very trusting. She's just a
Paranoid.
little paranoid about
Yeah.
where this came from. It'll clear up in time, I think, with meeting the boss. But you know,
Well, are they wearing recognizable Firebird Bionics security uniforms, or
no, I think
are
these
they
are
just all
like
blacked out or
I
something?
think
We
these
don't
are
know.
like elite agents that work directly. They're like elite security people that work directly for Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
And
no
so
no
they're
company
like,
branding.
yeah, no company branding, and they're not answerable to anybody. They're not from Firebird Bionics themselves. Like maybe Ezra Winter is a Firebird Bionics like muckety muck, but it's only because he's a fixer, you know. And it's
Yeah.
good to have uh good to be in a position of power, you know. I think, yeah. I don't think anything immediately screams anything meeting these people immediately screams Firebird Bionics, and I'm with you. I think Ezra's not the kind to talk it out. He'll sit down and have a chat with us if we become friends.
It'll be very terse though, and full of like one-sided conversations where we're providing a lot more information about ourselves.
Oh yeah, 100%. Kayla's gonna spend the entire time walking back after you know her and Sage have that little mini conversation, and she's gonna spend the entire time walking back just openly, like loudly enough that he can hear, like asking him personal questions, like, "Hey, how long have you been working for your boss? How do you know these guys?" Just random stuff, not anything that she expects an answer to or anything like that, but just she's just poking at him. And so I assume he every time is brushing it off kind of gruffly, and eventually gets to the point where he maybe threatens Kayla to shut her up, but
And something very subtle,
very
like
subtle, not like
yeah,
just you know a wise man listens kind of threat, not a
yeah.
not like threatening to break her knees or anything like that. That would just be funny. No, she
I
gets
think
it,
he
and she
probably
shuts
tries to
up past
set
that
something
point.
a little more obvious, like or ominous, like if you knew who you were talking to, who you're going to be meeting with, you'd probably keep your questions a little.
Yeah, as soon as he starts to let, yeah, as soon as he starts in on that kind of talk, I Kayla just kind of shuts up, and she looks. If you look at her, she looks like her fun's been had, you know, been taken away from her. Um, she okay, so we find ourselves we get into the space limo or whatever it is, the space Oldsmobile that Ezra drives around in, and oh hey, oh not
Oh, hey.
yet. I was gonna say we should try to just develop him as a connection, but we haven't done anything with him that's really drives that yet. I think we can get to that later.
Yeah. I think it'll depend on what happens with this next meeting.
Yeah. So we get in this space Oldsmobile. It's a rust bucket, but runs. Obviously, it runs pretty well, but doesn't look like the kind of ship you'd want to steal if you were in a shipyard trying to find a ship to steal. So it does its job, right? Uh, we find ourselves back at Eris, which we were just at. Kayla on the
Do
way
they
is going
encounter
to ask
any
questions.
black hole shenanigans with?
Oh, we could. Oh, let's see. Let's talk to let's ask the Oracle, because I think uh
Given that every time we've tried to leave Eris, something has happened.
and this might give us good fodder to work off of for what's going on with these shenanigans, these gravity shenanigans.
So do
So
you think
let's see.
it's likely or 50-50? Because we haven't experienced them on the way there yet, but definitely when leaving. So that's already kind of 50-50.
I think it would be a little less than 50-50 for this. I feel like if it was obvious, everyone would be talking about it by now.
So
We would have
unlikely.
heard about something. So I think it's one step below 50-50.
Okay.
And if it happens, I think it'll shock them. Hey.
It
Oh.
happens. The
So
bloody rift strikes again.
yeah, man. I think
It's not just Kayla.
she like, we're like, handcuffed into seats, and she kind of like leans forward and looks at Sage as we're like violently shaking around, and her head is just perfectly still, and she's staring at Sage and doing the like, huh, where's your bitching now, huh? I'm not piloting this ship. These are people that work here, I assume. Well, we don't even know we're going to Eris, but is
Yeah.
that something we would be able to tell? I don't think they would like try to hide it.
I don't think they
He
would
just
have
doesn't
said
want to
it
talk
either.
about
I
it.
don't think they
Yeah,
would have provided that information either.
but I feel like,
If we look out a window, it's probably like, oh, look, there's Eris right there.
right? Yeah, I
And the
feel like
gas giant.
that's the thing. So yeah,
Are there windows on this vessel? I don't know.
I mean, an Olds has a lot of windows. I mean, they're big. They're land yachts. They have large
They do.
windows. So yeah, I think there are windows on. I think there are windows. I think maybe the seeing any of the nav data or whatever they're using when they're setting up the flight path. If we're anywhere near the uh you know the uh the cockpit or anything like that,
Yeah.
I think Kayla would have been able to figure it out. But yeah, I think we would have seen it once we got there. But yeah, so I feel like this isn't something that's happened a lot, and it maybe some people have experienced it, but not everyone. And maybe this is. Do we think this is? Let's ask the Oracle if this is Mike's or Mike. This is Ezra's first time. Let me see.
Or any of his crew, like any of these. Like,
So I think we got a 50-50 shot that this was Mike's first time. And if it's
okay.
his first time, it freaks him out a little bit. If it's not his first time, he's more stoic than his guys are. Yep. I
So
think
he's shooken.
yeah, he I don't know that he shows it necessarily, but he definitely it's his first time seeing this happen. He probably heard stuff because he's tied in with, if he's Phoenix's right hand man, he's probably tied in with a lot of what goes on. And so he's probably heard stuff. But this is his first time experiencing it, and he thought this was like a safe lane to fly in. And so he's doing the calculus on how stuck he would be at Eris if we couldn't fly away from the station or the planet. But I don't think he shows it too much. Maybe he gets freaked out for a half sec, but he retains his calm composure after a moment. So we proceed onto Eris. We get to Eris. Like, I feel like we're being taken in the back way. Like, I think this is not the dock that we. This is not the main port of the station that we're landing at. This is some private port that is off to the side that no one uses and is very heavily guarded. Maybe.
Yeah, are we going straight? Is he dropping us off in his office, or are we going to some like interrogation room?
I feel like so we're already going kind of the cinematic route with this. So I feel like we're gonna end up in his like they're taking us to his like his what do you call it office his Tyrell Corp office. With the crazy beautiful scene in the middle
Yeah,
of a industrial space
kind of show
station.
off,
Yeah,
impress us lowly mercenary scum, and
exactly.
put us in our place.
So I think, yeah, I feel like we get to this private, dock, and it's like you can pretty much just walk straight from this dock. There's a couple of places. There's like a big long hallway with a few doors, and they take us to one in particular. And as they open it up and we go inside, uh, I feel like I feel like he would have the like hyper clean, like everything is like bright shiny, or not bright shiny but shiny plasticky like surfaces, like very minimalist. Maybe a little seating area with two chairs and a coffee table, and then like a big desk with two chairs across from it, and one big chair behind it, and it overlooks like the heart of the station or something like that, and then the other side looks out towards the bloody rift. There we go. That's the sauce.
Jean Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Yeah, yeah. Seated in front of us at this massive desk, that's is this man. He's old, but undoubtedly the young man we saw from the beginning. Eh, Phoenix Downey in the flesh. Kayla, Sage, still have no idea who this man is. Though they understand, Kayla at least understands being on Eris at an expensive looking office means she's probably in Firebird Bionic. This is probably the leader of Firebird Bionics, who may be an alien. She's she heard the rumors. He looks like an old man to her. So how do we want to do this? Let's start with this before we do any conversation. What is Phoenix's motivation in this moment? How is he gonna? What is he asking? What does he want from us? And what? How does he expect us to do it? So
That's a good question.
yeah, see,
Um,
we get this answer, we'll be good. I think we'll have a night. We'll be able to do a little conversation. Let's see. Okay,
goal. There's a
so
goal.
Kayla is paranoid that Stimmy's set us up somehow. The reality is, I'm just putting this forward. This is just something I'm testing the waters with. So let me run with this for a minute, and then we'll talk. Then we don't need to take it. We could just leave it, whatever. But so Kayla, she's paranoid that it's Stimmy. The reality is, Phoenix knew about what uh what god damn it, what was his name?
Yukon?
What Yukon? Thank you, Yukon Barrick. Phoenix knew what Yukon Barrick did. He was aware the
Yorick,
whole time. You,
as Phoenix calls him,
yes,
right?
Yorick, yeah,
Because he can't get his name right out of her.
yep. And he's just this middle management idiot who thinks he's covering his tracks well, but he did nothing to cover his tracks. which is probably why he accepted. He just point blank helped us steal information from Fiber Biotics. So, but Phoenix saw everything because this guy it's just he read him like a book apparently. So kind of kept an eye and saw who was and who we met with, and then had his boys jump us to see what kind of reaction they could get. Phoenix saw that we were useful, saw that we could handle ourselves, and we're doing, we weren't doing the greatest, but it was going to be a really tough fight for his most elite agents, to take us on. So we might be the most capable people to do what he needs to be, whatever it is he needs done.
We also worked off the trigger that the reason why he wanted to apprehend us was because he saw Tim.
Oh yeah, and he saw Tim. That was the other. Oh, that was it. Okay, yeah. I totally forgot about that. So on top of that, he saw, on top of all this, he sees Tim, and then he's like, okay, Ezra has to bring these people in, and so that's when he calls out, and that's when
Can't remember,
everyone pauses.
does he know what Tim is? I don't think. No, we didn't know.
I don't think we've talked about that, but I think of anyone in this situation.
Well, he would know because
that's what I was going to say.
Our clan, like, he would have heard about tales of my clan's warriors, for hire.
Oh yeah. Well, I think anything tied to precursors or the Essentia, or what was the other? There was another name too, wasn't there? I think someone else had another name for them. But yeah, I mean those like the precursors, the Essentia, those beings. I think if of anyone in the setting so far, Phoenix is the one that knows the most about them. And so every little piece of history or detail he can find tied to those, he has like, his vast encyclopedia of a mind. He's got that information. And so seeing something that triggered, him going like, oh shit, like, this thing is, there's some connection between this thing and what I'm looking for.
I would think that he would also has, like, even though it's a very clean, very Spartan like office, he probably have scattered decor that's like about precursors and Essentia and stuff,
like trophies from like artifact hunting missions and stuff like that.
Sage would probably like pick up on some of that because, like, hey, I recognize this symbol in the ruins I grew up in.
That, no, I agree. Yeah, it'll be like the what's that? Was it John Wick 3 at the end? There, they're in that room with all the glass, all the
spoilers.
3, not 4.
I've seen it. I'm being silly.
I'm not giving away the ending about the dog dying. Please don't kill me, people. No, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so like it's very sparse and whatnot, but there's like all, every so often there's like a pedestal, and there's some, it looks like, ancient technology, or maybe like a piece of stone that has, writing in it, and, a lot of like artifacts and stuff. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Or trophies that he's collected over the years. And yeah, well, especially because you have such, you have such a close tie to the Essentia. Anything related to them would be probably very familiar to you, because your planet was kind of populated by beings created by them.
No,
we were all beings created by them, I guess. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Tim. So yeah, okay. So yeah. So he's been in control for a little while. He's not. I don't think he's like a. He just stumbled upon. I mean, he stumbled upon us, but I think he's been kind of watching us for a little bit, and only just realized what was going on with Tim. Maybe it was because we entered the Eris that one time, and Tim sneezed.
Damn it, Tim.
right? Maybe he got some hint that there was something weird going on, and so he's had people following us or something like that. We just didn't know it. But yeah, so what is his goal here? So because we know his goal, he wants to build something with a black hole. We know he's
Something with the black hole.
well, we know he understands what the Order of the Omega are trying to do, and I feel like that's not what he's trying to do. That's why
Want me to
he's
do a doohickey?
do a doohickey.
Yeah. Roll a goal.
Oh yeah, yeah. Roll a goal, and let's see what look at some definition here as to what repair technology.
Okay. What does that technology do?
So
Do we know?
I feel like I feel like I feel like the Essentia maybe part of their being because they're so powerful. They give off a lot of energy, and somewhere along the lines they determined that they could just their being could power worlds and provide this massive amount of energy just from being near them, but you need this machine to collect the energy, right? So there's like ancient technology that collects this energy and becomes basically a uber powerful source of energy even compared to what we know as humans. And like,
What if not necessarily
oh,
the precursors, but what if it's a black hole?
oh, okay, that's how to
And
harvest
like
the
that,
energy off a black hole.
yeah, basically a way to capture a singularity.
Oh, maybe the precursors. So maybe okay here. So we've been talking about this. I'm gonna lay out some stuff again. I know I'm going in the weeds here. Cerberus is an Essentia egg, right? We kind of touched on
Yeah.
that a little bit. Cerberus is an Essentia egg. There's technology in this area in the sector that will convert the black hole into energy to hatch the Essentia egg.
Okay.
So that way
Yeah.
that's both what technically that's what the Order of the Omega wants, even though it's going to wipe out even though that particularly will wipe out, life in the sector to bring the Essentia to life. But what Phoenix wants is he wants that source of energy because he sees the potential of uh, having all of that power in his hands. Maybe that, or he has some other ancient technology that would prolongs life or something like that. Something that classic like villain trope. Like what do crazy old villains want? To live forever?
Yeah. Especially with a guy whose name is Phoenix Downey
Who
and
is
is
definitely
got a
not a
company
space
called
firebird.
Firebirds Bionics. Yeah. I'm sure amongst all the Essentia stuff is like Phoenix motifs and stuff as well.
There's there's a lot of fire, birds in flame or like
Resurrection stuff.
resurrection stuff. Like maybe
Um,
a lot of classic religious imagery that back from the distant human past that people barely
Fountain
remember.
of Youth stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, that yeah, of course. You instead of he would use that energy to like revitalize himself or something,
yeah. So I'm thinking
make himself young again,
yeah,
and
he has another ancient machine, but it
or
takes an insane amount of power.
imbue him with Essentia powers. Who knows?
Oh, or maybe he thinks maybe he has some plan. Maybe his opinion is that the
In reality, it really is like royal jelly for Essentia, but he thinks it's like
he thinks it
a god
actually
machine or
gives
something.
them, yeah, it actually
Yeah,
creates them.
yeah.
Well, because to him it's like, well, a planet's a planet, like we can dig down into that planet, and if we don't find a person or a creature, is that not still not the Essentia, or what is the Essentia birth from, like, so obviously the energy is what empowers the matter that makes up the essentia in the planet. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Because I think that wraps up a lot of stuff neatly. That gives us that also gives us taps for the motivations for the religious nuts. That gives us taps for dealing with the Sagan people.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just that keeps unraveling in my head, and I'm like, oh man. Okay, so Phoenix brings us to meet him. Phoenix is aware of what's been going on. He's been watching us. He only just realized that Tim was a thing. Now he realizes that we have some connection to the precursors. He is both curious about us, but he needs something from us. So we know what his plans are. What does he need us for? Does maybe the Order of the Omega have something that he needs to finish his finish the machine or
I would say if he's looking for an artifact, and maybe he saw that I am, one of the vestiges of Yonar, and was like, maybe has an idea what happened there, and maybe I'm familiar with what that thing is that he's looking for.
okay.
Maybe there's like some like rubbing of some like temple mural or something,
Or
and
there's
it's got a depiction of the artifact that he needs, and he's like, does this look familiar to you, or do you recognize this? Like,
you're like, oh yeah, we used to use this all the time. I made my dinner on that once. No,
they're really good in battle. They protect it like it's a shield. He's showing me a rubbing of a shield, and I'm like looking at the shield, and I'm like, yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
great combat tool.
I use a shield to defend myself sometimes. I prefer the swords, but sometimes a shield's good. Everything has its place, right?
Improvised dinnerware. I mean, yeah, it's
Well, so I'm trying to get at it. So yeah. I mean, maybe he has some deeper stuff to talk to us about. But I mean, like, what in this conversation, he's gonna. There's a reason why he wants to talk to us, right? And
Tim. He saw Tim.
yeah, but I also think there's more going on in the background that we could uh, expand upon. I think is what I'm trying to get at. Is like what? Okay, he's seen that we're useful. He knows that you have Tim and that we might have some connection with the precursor stuff. How would he use us? What would he want to do? What would he
To
want us to
fetch
do?
said item if I
Okay.
recognize it. Like,
Okay.
do you know what this is? I
Oh,
think
I
it's
got you.
over here. Go fetch it for me.
Yeah.
Maybe his team couldn't. Maybe he knows where it's at, but his team can't get there. But maybe I can or something.
Maybe he
Or
knows where
more
it's at.
precisely, maybe Tim can get to it, but not a human or something.
What if it's like a big like I don't know, something large. Like a room-sized box or something like that, and no one has been able to open it. But symbiotes are actually used to open it, and that's part of the reason why no one's been able to open it. Like you have to have some kind of genetic material key that like unlocks this thing. And I don't know. I picked large room size box because I figured that would make it awkward to take anywhere, so it's stuck someplace. But it really could be anything.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like the thing would be whatever thing I was thinking of would be like
Mhm.
a key for something like that.
Okay.
But the symbiote, like you said, could be the key
Yeah,
for that, and that makes sense too.
because that like I'm just trying to piece together how we get from A to B, or what's gonna happen because we're gonna talk to Phoenix here obviously, and he's gonna have some stuff to say, and then but are we gonna like is he gonna so he's gonna ask us to do this
Big villain speech, something about forces of creation, blah blah blah.
battle of
Twirly
dark
mustache,
and light and
quoting from cultist book he's got in hand or something.
so
Tosses it over his shoulder like it's garbage because he thinks it's garbage.
so he okay so let's let's work on this a little bit here. So he has uh he knows of a thing. He knows where it's at. His guys can't get to it and can't open it, even if they could get to it. So he needs us to get to it and open it. Where is it? Is this something that the cultists have?
Yeah, it'd probably be on Cerberus, right?
Oh, yeah.
If it's to do the doohickey there.
Well, I was just thinking because I kind of opened it up for that. I was thinking there's another space station here. Uh, that's part. I'm sorry, that's part of what I was doing with the vignette there in the beginning was, hey, this cult like they have a home base, and it's a giant fucking space station. So I was thinking
Okay.
it might be near Cerberus maybe, but not within easy reach of what's it called of Sagan. Kind of another like hidden thing like Everfall, which we haven't even got. Evenfall. Sorry. Let's roll another space station real quick while we're working on this. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna create a location, make it a settlement, and I'm gonna set the type to deep space. Altair, home of the what's their names? The Omega or the Order of the Omega.
Yeah.
Location details real quick. I'm gonna I'm gonna change population because I think there's gonna be more than a few of them. I think realistically, because we know the oh actually I'm gonna change the population to whatever there's a their influence is notable. They're dispersed across a few sectors, so maybe there's a few hundred people here. Hidden location, first look. So they try to hide their tracks, maybe. Which is funny because they're a big giant cathedral space station. Let's see.
Elevated or multi-level, like you could always tweak it, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We could just say it's that one right next to it,
Uh,
which is elevated or multi-level construction, which kind of fits with your salad dressing.
you son of a bitch. Okay. Cathedral sitting on a rock in space, floating in space. Okay, we're gonna go with I'm gonna fill out authority with the leadership of the organization. Oh, sorry. Are you typing something?
Nope.
Oh, okay, that was me then. Oligarchical elite thinks Scientology. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave settlement projects. I'm gonna leave all that stuff alone. I think we're good with just that because the rest of that stuff is kind of covered by the faction, since it's kind of like a faction home base.
Yeah.
Was that, and then we'll drop Altair somewhere out in space. Let's see where. Let me make some space so I can see my map. Oh, Altair's going to be closer to. Altair will be like over there. So nearby Cerberus, but not as quite as close as Sagan. Oops.
More deep space. Then, yeah.
Yeah, more deep space. Okay. Okay, so there's this thing. I think Phoenix's like deep knowledge would say like, hey, yeah, like I need I need one of those things. I need your symbiote in order to open this thing. And my guys can maybe fight their way to it, but they're not going to do too well. You guys look like you can handle yourselves, and you have the key to unlock this box. Um, and then he's like, basically like, so you're going to do this for me, right? Like, I don't know. How does he just threaten our lives? Like, what does he do? What is the,
Oh yeah, like with like corporate espionage and all that stuff for stealing all that stuff. Like he's got
oh, he lays it out
videos,
like
photos. Like,
he'll lock us away. He's got enough, there was sensitive data was stolen from Firebird Bionics, and there was a mountain of evidence that it was, uh, uh, you know, uh, two people that paid a rogue security agent to let them in and take the information. And there's video and photographs and all that stuff. So he plays the. You guys are going to spend a lot of time in jail card if we don't come to this arrangement here, and then you do your thing, you walk away, everything's okay. We don't have to talk again. So he makes us swear a vow. Dirty son of a bitch. Oh, so wait, do we already get rid of? Let's do some double checking here. What's the Stimmy Remy? Oh, that was completed. Agents was completed. Okay. Sorry, I was doing a little cleanup there on the vows and whatnot. Okay, so do we want to play this out? We kind of have an idea of what's going on, right? Do we want
yeah.
to do a scene with this?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So let me just let me run through the overview of what we did here, and then we'll agree to that, and we can move on from there. So
Are you talking envisioning the vow swearing, or what are you talking about?
I'm getting up to the point where we envision the vow swearing, and then we'll swear the vow and do all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you kind of already laid it out. Like,
Yeah, I just want to kind of put it real quick. So we show up. I kind of want to just go back and refresh where we're at, because I went a lot of random places there. So Kayla and Sage show up in handcuffs in the fancy office. Uh, Come sit down. Kayla's just looking at the old guy across the desk, is Phoenix guy. He's not saying much. Then eventually, he starts talking to us and very makes it very clear he knows who we are and has been following us since we've come into the sector essentially. And then he lays out, what kind of trouble we're in because we stole all this data and he has all this video of it and all that stuff. And so Kayla, Sage and Kayla, I assume Sage also kind of, we get tired of the act and understand where this is going. And so Kayla, rolls her eyes and makes the, head motions and stuff like that, kind of like, hey, speed this up, let's go. And so he gets to what he wanted to say, which was that he recognized Tim. And I assume this, piqued Sage's interest a bit. But he recognized Tim, and he also saw that we were very capable of handling ourselves. And so he explains that, there's a box being held by some religious extremist that he was once associated with, and that box can only be opened. He believes by something with a genetic key that your symbiote should have. And he says, his elite agents weren't enough to recover the box themselves, but we seem to handle his elite agents pretty well, so we were probably up to the task. And he would like us to go get the box or the contents of the box from this organization and bring them back to him. And if we do that, no one has to hear about, all of this mountain of evidence of sensitive data theft by two known space criminals. He looks at us, says known space criminals, very funny way. And then, so then we agree, right? So that's what happens. That's the gist of it. All right, cool. So now we swear the vow. Let's see. Vow swearing moves. So one of us is going to swear the vow. You have the symbiote.
I do have the symbiote.
I think it would carry more weight coming from you.
Yeah. The...
Duh. What's up?
Dangers are formidable. Or do we think they're just going to be troublesome?
I think this is going to be. I think this is definitely an escalation of difficulty. I think the fight with the agents was formidable. So I think formidable is a good place to start with this one.
Oh, okay. There we go. Retrieve. Open.
He gives us a maybe
ancient box.
Maybe part of the discussion is he shows us the rubbing like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he says, "Does that look familiar?" And you immediately recognize the stuff on the rubbings because it was your planet. But yeah, you guys had boxes similar. You guys had things similar to that, and so maybe even Tim recognizes what he needs to do to unlock the box. I don't know.
Be hilarious if we get there and we open the box and it's something just
It's just farts.
goofy and benign. Yeah.
It's ancient farts. It's ancient alien farts. It's all the power in the universe, and it's just farts. Just gonna keep saying farts. All right. So let's see if we have any
There we
crazy
go.
obstacles we're gonna have to resolve here. Was this what are you gonna so you have to roll for let's see. Yeah, roll plus heart.
Roll plus start for what?
It's under quest moves to swear an iron vow. Oh yeah, there's a move. We have to determine how easy this is going to be for us.
Oh, based on the move,
Yeah, based
not
on the
choose it.
move.
Okay.
Well, it's easy. You know, it's that whole like scale. It's like, well, okay, on a strong hit, you know what you need to do. You go do it. On a weak, on a weak hit, something's in the way. On a miss, there's a major obstacle. So we got to decide. We have to figure out whether or not we have to change some, change it up a little bit. Weak hit. So on a weak hit, you're determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum and envision what you do to find a path forward.
Okay.
So we know where we know physically where we need to go. Maybe Phoenix doesn't know where the station is yet. It moves around, and they're working to evade him. Or
Okay. I like that a lot
yeah,
because what if it has to do with some of the shenanigans that we've been running into
I feel like the so
with gravity
I feel like
instability?
those gravity shenanigans tie back
More of
in
the black
some way
hole.
to
Yeah.
the black hole, but maybe they understand them because it's all part of dealing with living in the space with the black hole while while they're creating the essentia, or while the essentia is being, they don't know they're doing that, but the process the essentia set up and kind of like left them clues to go down this path. Uh, so yeah, no, so okay, so yeah, that's okay. So then let's run with that then. So he knows the station. He can give us all the information about the station, and he's got a lot of details about the way the organization, way the cult organization works and all that stuff. But what he doesn't know is where they're at any given point in time because he doesn't have that map or calendar or whatever it is that they use to determine where they're going to go. Or they updated it, or it changes, and it's a flowing thing or something like that. So maybe we need help from someone who's a little bit closer. Maybe Stimmy might be able to help us find. I mean, or because Sagan's closer and she's kind of in on what's going on with Sagan. Maybe she's aware of like, oh, cultists showed up the other day, like to trade or something like that. That's kind of weak. Let's see.
Well, I was just filling out the vow stuff.
I'm
And
thinking
then
about it.
do we want to update Altair? Okay. Uh,
Oh, are you in the?
Settlement moves around
Oh yeah, thank you.
in the sector. Do do do. Uh, I think it's just as simple as they're just covering their tracks.
Okay. As they just move in a way that's consistent,
Maybe taking advantage of the gravity stuff, like you said before, but
or maybe they just know how to avoid it. And, maybe it's
Yeah.
it's not like a special thing, but it's just like they just know where to go to not be affected by it.
Maybe like you said, there was like a map left over that does show them spots where they can avoid it that
Oh,
they
okay.
have.
Like like islands of just no
Stability
gravity. Yeah, islands of stability. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Okay, that works.
map. Yeah, maybe like you said. Okay, yeah, precursor map.
Yeah, something something that's part of maybe their understanding of what they're trying to do. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So how? So what's the? So how do we find them? What do we do to find them?
That's a good question. I liked your idea of going back to Stimmy, seeing if she has any idea of the cultist.
And we
Did,
basically
did
like,
Phoenix tell us like does he know their settlement moves around? And he's like, their settlement moves around, so you'll have to find it.
yeah, because I think he gives us as much information as he can about the thing, about what he needs us to do. Essentially, I think he has a lot of information about it, and he tells us as much as he knows. The problem is right now he doesn't know where the station is, and he lets us know because it's probably something they've done forever. I don't think it's like just hiding from him, but maybe hiding from anyone who's their enemy. And
Yeah,
especially because they collect artifacts and stuff like that have to do
like
with
like
their
the
religion.
highest of their members know the
Yeah,
locations.
and
That's it.
or like their navigators know how to find the specific locations they would be at, and
Yeah.
you just kind of have to go place to place. So like, and yeah, the highest level people know where it's going or where it is at any given point in time, but there's kind of a way to find it. You just don't, he doesn't know the current way. Out of all the
I'm gonna call
information
these
he
things.
has,
I'm gonna call them gravity fissures.
gravity fissures. Okay,
Just whatever these things are that are causing havoc for now. I don't know what they actually are, but I'm just calling
gravity
them.
anal fissures.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to watch out for the bleeding.
Yep. The
You get an
bloody rift.
infection.
So okay. So
So he doesn't know where they're
yeah.
at. So yeah. So let's say we go back to Stimmy. Let's
Are
say,
we hitching a ride back with
well,
them, and
I
are
mean,
they dropping us because
he
they?
didn't take our ship. He didn't take Mercy. So Mercy's back at
Do we
Sagan
know
anyway.
that? Maybe. What if he did conveniently have one of their
Oh,
henchmen like hot wire our spaceship and bring it
let's
back?
see, because I think that would be a whole that in turn
That's a
turns,
big power move, you know.
if it's a power move, and that in turn would really piss Kayla off. So I no, that's a good call. Let's I don't I think it's a 50-50 shot that they did that. I don't think I don't lean one way or the other. I didn't think that they would do that initially, but I agree with you that it's totally a power move and there's a chance. So you want me to roll that one?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. No, they did not. Thank God. Oh my God. Kayla would be so pissed off. Kayla would not. Kayla would have a hard time just not like destroying the station on the way out if she could. That would get back to old Macron behavior when it comes to spaceships and space stations in games.
Oh. Hide your spires.
I feel like Kayla kind of has Kayla has a bond to the ship is what I want to get at. It's very much. I say this a lot. I say that she's a female Han Solo. She's very much in that same vein though of like, you know, she has although I understand that Han Solo, wasn't the best owner of the Millennium Falcon, but he did have some amount of love for her, and maybe Chewie, maybe she's closer to Chewie in feeling ownership over it, because I feel like Chewie probably deserves ownership more than Han. But yeah, if they did that, that would have been there would have been something different happening. Okay,
If I
so
cover myself completely with Tim, I can look like Chewie for you.
oh, that's
Does that help?
sweet. There we go.
Yeah.
And I'm already wearing. She's already
He
wearing a
lets out a
vest
little
and a.
squeak, roaring squeak.
So yeah. So we'll so what will happen is we'll basically be sitting there in handcuffs. He'll tell us what he wants us to do, and Kale's going to be like, "So when do we get out of these?" And he's going to say, "Oh, when Ezra drops you back off at Sagan."
There we go.
We're going to fly all the way back to Sagan, and Kayla is just going to stare Ezra in the eyes, dead stare, just a dead stare the whole time, just the whole time, uncomfortable dead stare. And he won't leave the room because he doesn't want to show how uncomfortable he is made by this stare. So he stays there and sits in his discomfort. And then I think they literally just pull up to a dock, open the doors, take off our handcuffs, and kick us out the door. I feel like it's not ceremonious at all. It's not.
Did we run in any shenanigans
Oh,
with the
yeah, we should do that back.
characters?
Maybe the discomfort that Kayla is making Ezra feel is also amplified by his discomfort.
That was a 50-50 roll. We gave it last time, I think.
No, we were doing an unlikely, I think.
Well, that was if they
Yeah, that was for hitting the gravity stuff, right?
oh yeah, it was unlikely. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Uneventful.
Still, Ezra slightly uneasy.
Awkward.
Still very
Yeah.
uncomfortable from the staring, at the very least.
All right, you kids, get on your way. Retrieve that item for the boss.
As the door closes and the Space Oldsmobile takes off, Kayla turns to Sage, rubbing her wrist, doing the standard, oh, I had handcuffs on thing. Turns to Sage and she's like, I told you it wasn't me. They ran into that shit too, and they fucking work for this fucking space station that had the things at. Do you believe me now?
Tim squeaks.
Damn it, Tim. I don't want your shit. None of your shit till you open the box.
Yeah, we both just sigh in unison.
Let's go find Stimmy.
Oh, some trouble you got us in this time, Tim. And then he squeaks indignantly at me, and
oh, that's my favorite line that you've said so far to Tim. I feel like that's the what do you call it? That's one of those indicators of your relationship.
yeah.
As you're talking to Tim, Kayla storms off saying, "Let's go find Stimmy," and we make our way to Stimmy's bar.
To the Stimmy. Kubat.
Is she there? I mean,
I think
we
it's
just
likely.
saw her a few hours ago.
Almost certain.
Almost certain. Here we go. Is she there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's there.
Almost certain.
So
you don't have to hunt her down on this station.
She's in her usual spot too, probably like just her usual table.
Yeah. Cleaning glasses and
we walk up and she says to us,
pouring
I know
drinks.
Said come back and see me later because I might have more work for you. You're gonna have to wait a little longer than that though. She looks at her watch. Yeah, I'm gonna say 9 hours, 6 hours maybe altogether. He's
Those are some fast trips.
I figure, well, because this is like a known, it's one of those known, it's one of those, what do you call it?
And there was no gravity fissure shenanigans. So.
On the way, yeah, there was one on the way out, but no one on the way back. So I feel like, that's enough time to go there, sit there, talk to him for like an hour, and then travel back. Does that sound about right?
Sure.
Space and time are meaningless. We define what happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay. I guess we should be asking Simi. If she knows anything about this Omega cult.
Stimmy, Stimmy says, "Well, yeah. I mean, they're next to Firebird Bionics. I feel like they do the most trade in the sector. I mean, it's hard to find them, but eventually they show up."
What do you mean hard to find them?
He's like, "Yeah. I mean, you can tell that there's a space station somewhere here in the sector, but anytime anyone's found it, it's never back in the same place when you go back. So they don't exactly broadcast where they're at and they move the station around a lot. Probably takes a lot of fuel." She goes, "If you need to find it, I mean, they send people to pick up supplies regularly to other stations. So, I mean, someone will probably show up within a day or two."
How much does Simi know about them?
How much does she know about them? I feel like, okay, that's a good point because I think it's likely she's
Like, would
aware of
she be
them.
able to like help us infiltrate them, or
So
would she be like, your guess is as good as mine. Good luck, have fun." I
I think
mean, there's already good enough information that's like,
what
you can possibly. Because what I'm thinking is like we ambush a couple of them, take their place, like steal their clothes and whatnot, and don their robes and whatnot, look like crazy cultists.
you want to do a season
Uh,
3 Avatar.
is that what happened?
You haven't
I
watched
can't
Avatar: The
remember.
Last Airbender, have you?
I did. I watched
That's
that
when
in court.
they spent almost all of season 3 in the Fire
You're
Kingdom.
talking the Fire Kingdom, but
Yeah,
that's
dressed up in the Fire Kingdom gear.
yes.
No,
Blame on
I know.
on
I'm just. It's just no. I'm 100% with you on that. I think that's the way to go. I just thought it was very funny in my head. That's the connection I made. Even though it's like it's the it's like it's one of those things. Bonk the guy on the head, steal his clothes. We're good.
yeah. Oh,
Mm.
test.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear me too.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Okay. So
give it a moment because it's stabilizing. Um. Okay, we were saying. Uh,
we totally got sidetracked.
we did.
Uh, Demi, does she know how to
Oh,
get us?
would she be able to help us infiltrate? So I think it's a.
Yeah.
I think it's like a. I feel like she would definitely know a lot about them and their operations because she's got her finger on the pulse of what goes on around here. But
Here's how to act like them. Don't do these kind of things.
yeah, she
Like
could give us.
like kind of like the do's and don'ts and
I
tips
feel
to
like she
like.
could give us, at the very least, she can give us very basic information. But I think there's maybe a 50-50 shot that she has, like, maybe there's a plan she's been kicking around to try to steal stuff from them or something like that. So let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Does
Yeah,
she
maybe
have
she does have
something?
a job for us after all.
Yeah, does she have something? And I'm going to give it a 50-50. She does. So this cult has something that actually someone's been eyeing for a while, and she just didn't think that we were up for it. But since we're bringing this up on our own, uh,
Since you kids mention it,
I'm feeling this is just like a what do you call it? It's gonna be some kind of artifacty alien guga that we have to pick up. that she just happens to know that. Yep, it is the same problem it was last time. It is just losing connection.
Okay.
I am going to after this stream. I can't do it right now, but after this stream, I'm going to change the endpoint I use. Maybe PDX is just because I know one of the San Jose ones had a lot of trouble for me early or a long time ago, but maybe PDX. Maybe something between me and PDX is just janky. Seems like it wouldn't be the case given where I'm at, but can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think the stream's back up. Stream's back up. Yeah, stream's back up.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so hoping that this holds on a little longer. Real quick, if this keeps up, maybe we might call the session a little early tonight. But if this keeps going, we'll just keep rolling with it.
Okay.
Okay, so Stimmy needs something. They have something. She's got a client that wants something from them. So she's like, I kind of actually had a little plan. And she says, kind of what I just told you. They show up every so often. It's always a few guards and like uh, one or two people who act as trade representatives. And the guards wear these like full face helmets. So as long as you act right, you can probably sneak back into their ship. I mean, act right and dress right. You can probably just sneak back onto the ship, uh, or knock out some of the guards and take their place, or something along those lines, and then just take that ship back to their station. I mean, the problem from that there is going to be how do you get back? I think
What if one of us sneaks on board with a little beacon thing, and the other flies ship in?
that is 100% what I was thinking. I I was thinking that you go after as the ship leaves. I'll leave port with our ship and wait for your signal, and then you'll fire off the beacon, which will tell me where I need to go, and I'll jump there and meet you on the station somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, that's a plan.
Now, keep in mind, I do have Shadow 1 and Wits 1.
And bear in mind, I have Shadow 1 and Wits 2.
But
I might be able to talk myself out of a situation
this
slightly better than you.
could possibly be an aggressive situation.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would then add my symbiote's health to my roll. So that would give me a 3 on that.
That would give you a 3. A +3,
A
right?
plus 3, yeah.
Oh, okay.
To my roll.
So you're probably the safest to go. Then, is what you're getting at? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, I'm just saying, like, even though I'm big and lumbering and stuff, plus it's a good plan.
I think if we can
knock
sneak you
out a
onto the
guard
ship,
and wear his garb.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if we sneak you onto the ship before they, like, as they're doing their thing, like, obviously there's gonna be some guards back at the ship, right?
Yep.
So maybe we go take one of those guards out, and then have you replace them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing we got to do. Okay, so that's the plan.
First off,
we have to execute the plan.
Stimmy is actually kind of giggling while we're all talking about this, because we're all talking about this right there.
Tim beeps and squeaks every now and then to give his input. And I tell him it's silly, that will work. Whatever he's talking about.
They don't make ships that small, Tim. Okay. So we're talking to Stimmy. We're working out the plan. She says, I may not have. Well, okay. So first off, she makes a swear a vow to her because we got to do this.
Oh, to steal the thing for Stimmy.
Yep. I'll swear this one. I'm gonna put this one at dangerous because it is alongside of our formidable one. I feel like our formidable one is going to be harder for us to obtain, maybe.
Yeah.
So this one I'm just gonna say dangerous. Jimmy is piggybacking off Phoenix and having us steal more. The Order of the Omega. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Let's roll this. All right, Stimmy. To you I swear this iron vow. We will steal that alien Guga from the Order of the Omega. Hey, weak hit. Okay, so she has all this
Uh,
information, but
I
she
think
does.
we
What was that?
should mark some progress on the larger vow.
Oh yeah. That's probably a good idea because we've.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
So she knows what she's looking for, but she has no idea of the layout of the space station. So she can't tell us where it's at. Whereas I feel like Phoenix might have had
Phoenix.
information to
Yeah,
send
I was
us.
gonna say he gave us. He would have
Oh,
given us a
maybe he
layout.
gave us as much layout information as he could. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
which is probably pretty extensive. He probably had people sneak on
well,
board as
and
well, like we were doing it.
yeah, but she doesn't know, like, she knows what the object is and maybe who has it. So maybe she can point us to roughly an area that it might be in. But she, because I'm trying to think of this is what the more questions than answers side of things is going to be is
Yeah,
once we get there, we still have to go find this thing. She'll give us a description and all this information about it, about the thing, but we don't know exactly where it's at. So we got to kind of go searching. Okay, so let me update this. Maybe she said, okay, so she knows who has it. And that's all, that's the information she has, right? So once we get there, we got to figure out where this person's at. And that could be the complication, maybe. Oh, oh my God. Okay. Oh, name generator. That's Oh man. Okay, here we go. He knows a priest has it, and his name is Zebulon Tucker.
Has it like he's wearing it, or
No, that he it's in his. So the person that saw it maybe was like a guest at one point of his office or something like that, and saw it, right?
yeah.
So I feel like that. Yeah. So I feel like the when we get there, the key is going to be to find his office, maybe, or his room or something like that. Let's just say his office to make it easy. There we go. Boom.
Okay, done.
Has it in his office. In his office. Well, okay. Sweet. Stimmy is a little like seems a little happy with us actually. I think this is feel like this is going to be a potentially a lucrative job here. Is this going to be a lucrative job? Yes. Yes,
She'll be
this will
really
be.
happy with us. Yeah.
She's going to be really happy with us. She thinks this could be the start of a beautiful friendship. To borrow more movie lines and tropes. Or if you can hear the fireworks going off behind me, like gunshots constantly, because it's been going on for like a week.
I couldn't hear anything.
I am using broadcasts, so it cuts out a lot of the noise. Okay.
Do we want to take a quick bio?
Yeah, let's take a quick bio break. We'll be back in let's be back in 5 minutes here. 9:10, my friends. We'll be right back. I don't have a BRB screen, so I'm going to switch over to the intro screen. We'll flip back once we're going. And we're back. Okay. So we were talking about before the break there. We made a vow to Stimmy to steal something in return for her helping us with the plan to get to the place. And, not just that. It comes with money too, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
going to make, well, I mean, obviously it was valuable. We asked the Oracle, it was valuable. This was a very valuable thing. So it's going to be worthwhile for us. Um, so the current plan is that we're going to, there's a trade vessel that comes every couple of days. We're going to go take out one of the guards. You're going to change into his uniform and then sneak onto the ship. And then you're going to take a beacon back to their space station, which we don't know where it's at because it moves around. And you're going to let that beacon off, and I'm gonna follow you in the ship. I'm going to find you in the ship, and then we'll meet up at the station and do the thieveries.
And
Commit
Tim's
a
plan
crime.
involves a tiny spaceship sized for just him that he can fly around.
And he could fly onto their ship while they're not looking. That was, I think, what he was getting at was if we just had a small ship for him, he could just fly past them. They wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
I am loving Tim more and more every day.
We rejected his plan.
He's always, every time he talks, he wants a tiny ship. We don't have a tiny ship, Tim. When we get a tiny ship, we'll do your plan.
One of these days, there will be a tiny ship.
We're gonna roll it too. We're gonna end up finding one, and it's just gonna be a rolled thing, and we're just gonna be like, well, and then Tim flies the ship off to wherever we need to go. Okay, that's the way this one works. Okay, so I think how are we gonna break this one down? I feel like we chill out on the space station. Stimmy maybe knows more exactly when they're coming than she let on initially. But now that we're working for her too, she'll tell us exactly when they're going to show up. Because they're, they have a cadence. They don't have their own, they don't grow their own stuff necessarily, so they have to get supplies from somewhere. So I think, let's see, what do we need to do for that? What's the move to make to sneak your way onto a ship? Certainly face danger.
Well, we have to
I think
knock out the guard first and all that stuff, right?
I think we're securing an advantage right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think we're securing an advantage for you.
Yes.
So the next steps are going to be easy. So I think the very first thing we do is, well, we've been doing this planning. Let's roll secure advantage. And the advantage we're securing, I think we are.
Well, I'm definitely I'm like, hey, come here, and then as soon as we get around a corner, bonk, right?
Yeah.
So aggression. So with strength, endurance, or aggression, I roll iron, and I also get the +2, so I get a +5 with Tim, because Tim's health is 2.
So there you go. See, it'll be so you'll do all of this just to get a +2 momentum and a +1 on your next move. Oh geez.
Yeah, that's a hard miss. Wow. Okay.
That's what you get for doing the fake aggression move there. Trying to fake out the oracle.
What? Fake aggression?
When you bonk me on the head. Oh God.
Not you.
That was it.
What?
Oh, who did you bonk on the head? Oh, the
The
guard. Oh,
guard.
let's roll that one back. No, I think we were. I think we were. I think we were doing. So this is what I was trying to say. Is I think we were securing an advantage up front by talking to Stimmy and making a plan. So I think this is a wits roll.
Oh,
This is for all. This is before we even get to that because this will get you
I thought we were
a
executing the
bonus.
plan.
This will get you a bonus on your first step of the plan, at least your next move. That's not a progress move.
Okay. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
So let's pretend that didn't happen. I was totally confused. I was like, why would you bonk me on the head and then we walk into the room and make this plan?
Okay. I thought we were executing the plan already.
Sometimes in this game, I feel like sometimes things happen out of order. You got to talk about what you're doing, and then you have to make some mechanical.
What we just did.
No, I know. No, that's why.
Roboted out.
Is that yeah? Basically, you talk about what's going to happen and build this plan out, but then oh shit, I'm sorry. God damn it. Oh my god.
It recovered.
Did it? Are we good?
Were you recovered?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and I'm just checking here.
Okay, and they can hear me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it did disconnect.
Okay. So you were saying we were talking about the plan, and now we're mechanically doing something.
Now we're mechanically saying okay. So we did planning, but all that planning gives us is a non-system advantage. It gives us information about where we need to go and what we need to do, but it didn't say like, oh, because we're doing this, we know who to go look for. We know where the guard's going to be, that we can hit them. And so
Okay.
then we go back and say, okay, well, this plan
we have to find the guards first. We have to, okay.
Yeah. And so if we use secure an advantage as part of the planning process, if we fail it, then we kind of have to roll back a little bit and go and make it slightly harder for ourselves. But if we succeed, you get a bonus on your next action.
Wait, I'm securing the advantage then for finding
I feel like we're both going to be part of this. So I mean, you're going on the ship, but I feel like if we, but I don't want to.
So this is the information gathering step for securing an advantage.
If we secure an advantage, if I am the one that rolls for secure advantage, the bonus is going to be from me. But my intention was for you to have the bonus, so when you go to get the guard, you'll have something extra in your pocket for that.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's and that's one of the quirks of this system, I think, is that because we have to talk so much out, that sometimes we roll over mechanical things that we can do or should do, and totally fine to go back and redo and do the mechanical part to make sure that comes out okay. And if it comes out differently than what we are ideal. Because this is definitely different from D&D in that regard. Neither of us are the DM here, so we're all just kind of making stuff up. Okay, so I think though I was going to say I think the planning we were doing was as much as the weak hit hurt earlier, the planning we were doing I think was more on the wit side of things. Because we're talking to Stimmy about it and getting the details together and all that. So even though it's going to be a bad roll for you to make, I think making
like with expertise, focus, observation.
Yeah, because we're using Stimmy's understanding of the situation to help cement what we're doing essentially.
Okay, Move. Oh, I need to roll wit, so or am I rolling? Am I rolling secure in advantage? Okay.
Yeah. So roll security. It's under adventure moves.
So am I taking any?
Did I just drop again?
No. I can hear you.
Oh my
Or
god.
do you mean your stream?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay. Test. No, I hear me.
You hear you? Is it
Yeah.
still going for you? Be back 2 weeks from now. Okay, I think I'm back. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So I'll say what I'm posting here in chat. We're gonna call it early because I'm having some technical difficulties with stream. I've been having this for the last like week and a half or so. So I'll try to work this out. Um, we are off on a break next week. So we'll Jason and I will be back with this. That would be the Thursday the 20th of July. We'll be back with the next session. We'll pick back up from the planning of the heist here with Timmy and go from there. So sorry about that, guys. We'll get working on this. I think I just dropped out again.
No, I think you're good.
All right. Let me close the stream real